So hello friends, welcome back to my tutorial, and in this video we'll be looking at the working with the database. So in tutorial we'll be working with the database using SQL Express, but you can also prefer the separated version of SQL Server where you are having more functionality over the data. But for the demonstration purpose in this tutorial we'll be using the SQL Express, which is came with the integrated version of the Visual Studio. So for better understanding, we will use city and state table, which can be used to demonstrate the CRUD operation with and without foreign key. So basically here we can also demonstrate the foreign key concept and without the foreign key concept. So the next one is we will store the database tables into MDF file and then connect the MDF file to the SQL Express. So we are storing all the data into the MDF file. We can also store the data into the SDF file, or you can also store the data into the separated SQL server. The next one is we'll be using the LNQ to SQL framework to perform the CRUD operation onto the database. So let's quickly move to the practical session of this video, and let's quickly create the database into the SQL Express. So this is the code which is we have done into the previous video, and now it's time to create a file to store the database. So basically, as we have discussed earlier, the app underscore data folder is used to store the MDF and SDF and all database related to files. So right click. So basically right click onto the app underscore data and click onto the add, and inside that you need to click onto the new item, and when you click onto the new item you can go with the SQL Server database. So inside the SQL Server database I'll be writing it as testdb, and you can also name it whatever you want, but for the demonstration purpose I'll be just writing the testdb. So now just click onto the add, and as soon as the process has been completed, the file has been added to your app underscore data folder, which can be used to perform the database operations, and from where we can store and create the tables. So as you can see, we have created the testdb.mdf file, and as soon as the file has been created, it is also connected here into our server explorer. So just refresh it so it can be get connected. So now just expand it, and let's create some tables here. As you can see, no tables are available, so let's move quickly and create some tables here. So I'll be just creating 3 tables: city, state, and the next one is for registration purpose, so I can also demonstrate the admin area of this application. So let's create some tables here. So just right click onto the tables, and inside that you need to just move to the add new table. So as soon as you click onto the add new table, at that time the wizard will appear. Inside that you need to just specify all the things related to the table specification. As you can see, when until the designer part is loaded, let's do some code here. You can also do this code manually, or you can also go with the designer part. So I'll be creating a table of state, that is without foreign key. So I'll be creating the state, and I do prefer to have SID, that is not null, primary key, and of course identity, which is also known as auto increment. The next one I needed is as name, that is considering as the state name, and I'll be just providing the size of the 50, and will also uh, put it a constraint of not null, and of course there is no foreign key here. So now to save the table, just click onto the update, and when you click onto the update, a wizard will appear where you need to just click onto the update database, and when you here the update database is available. So if whenever you click onto the update database, the processing has been started, and if everything is goes well, at that time the table has been created, and we'll be getting the success message. So as we can see, the update completed successfully. That means the table has been created. Here you can refresh and you can see the table is available here. So let's create another table, that is city table. So until the designer is loaded, let me just close it, and you can also prefer the designer part, or you can also create the tables from it, just like if you want to create here, so something like a CID, CNAME, you want to provide the size, so I'll be just providing the size of 50, and I'll be not allowing the nulls, as well as I also want to provide the foreign key, so that is also going to be the integer and not null. So this is how okay, I just forget the identity, so I just need to provide the identity. So I'll be providing identity, so it will have the auto increment feature. And for now, let's create a foreign key, and please have a look more carefully to create the foreign keys, as if you want to create a foreign key, just right click onto the foreign key and click add new foreign key, and here need to just write down the name of that foreign key. So I'll be just writing it as fk, that is defines the foreign key, then the table name, so city, then column name, that is SID, then 2, then underscore, then I'll be just writing the target table, so that is state, and the foreign key field, that is SID. So now as you click on it, a new line will appear here where you need to make some changes. So like I want a foreign key or SID from which table, so I just need it from state table, and you also need to provide the SID, which is the foreign key field inside, which is the primary key field inside the state, and the foreign key inside the city. So if everything is perfect, you just need to click on the update, and just click on the update database, and if everything is going well, a table has been created and you can refresh it. So you can now see table. So as we haven't made changes to the name of the table, so just made changes here. So I'll be just writing it as city, just click onto the update, and just click onto the update database. So let see what it say. The model already has an element that has the same name. Okay, so now we are having the trouble with the foreign key. So let's just delete this foreign key, and now update the let's save the table, because the table name should be appropriate, as it will help us to remember those names and all those things. So always prefer to have the table names more properly instead of having random table names. So I'll be just removing this table, and so we can again demonstrate, and also we can make changes to all the stuffs. So I'm just cancelling here, as we also having the city of and all those things. Just add the foreign key. So I hope so you remember the naming convention. So dash source table, column, then target table and column. So when you click enter, you just need to replace the column with SID. That is the source table foreign key field, then the table from you want foreign key, and then the field name. So I think everything is good here. So let's just click onto the update, and let's just update the database, and I think everything is going well. So update completed successfully, just refresh it, and let's see if we are having the table or not. So I just clicked onto the refreshed, and let's see. So let's refresh it, and now we are having this city table also available, so that is CID, CNAME and SID. So we do also wants to create another table, that is the for registration purpose. So I'll be creating a table for registration, so something like a UID, and always prefer this non-designer version, as it will give you more flexibility, so you won't forget anything here. So UID, another thing I just required is the username, which I'll be taking as varchar 50. Actually the username is not so much long, so I'm just taking 20, and it should be not null. Then I'll be taking a password field, and let me also take it as varchar. You can also prefer the encrypted version of the password, but I'll be just taking this normal one. User type, just to identify that type of user is logged in, so that is the user or someone else, that thing is identified by this user type. So I think everything is perfect here, and identity we have also provided. So let's just click onto the update, and also click onto the update database. So if everything is goes well, the table has been created, and we can see the table into the tables of the database. So let me just refresh it, and as soon as I refreshed, we can see a new table is appear here. So I hope so that you are getting the idea about creating the foreign keys, and creating the tables, fields, and also uh, understanding of how we can assign the foreign keys, and create the MDF files and all those things. So I think that's all for this video, and we'll see you in my next video.